Amandla. Amandla. Viva EFF, viva. Tata EFF, tata. Phansi ngamasela, phansi. Phansi ngamasela, phansi. Phansi ngo-DA, phansi. Phansi ngo-ANC, phansi. Amandla. Diabulela chairperson, the national chairperson and our provincial chair, and our elders in the tent there, we greet you and salute you for coming out in your numbers. And all of you, the ground forces of the EFF, we are here today to remind Helen Zille and Rupert that this is not their land. This land belongs to the people of KHAYAMNANDI. It belongs to the people of Azania. It belongs to the people of Kanini, because we were born here. We did not take anyone's land. They came, found us here, and conquered us and took our land, and we want it back. I can see that you are already doing a good job. You have gone up the mountain there in Azania. There is another one this side which must be sorted when the time allows. There is no one who must stay without a land. We need land, and we need to build proper houses for our people. The EFF houses will have 3 bedrooms, will have dining, will have kitchen, will have a bathroom with a flushing toilet inside. Because we don't want bucket system, we don't want outside toilet. Because there is no single white man with a toilet outside. There is no single white man who helps himself in the bush. As long as white people don't help themselves in the bush, none of us must go to the bush. All of us must have flushing toilet inside our houses. And the houses must be properly built. They must be of quality. The houses must not be matchbox houses with an obvious 4-corner. A house must have jigas. It must show through the roof that people who are staying inside this house are respected people. We must give you a house that restores your dignity immediately. Land is a dignity. Housing is a dignity. Without land, house, water, and electricity, without a flushing toilet, there is no dignity. Fighters, only animals must help themselves in the bush. If we have been helping ourselves in the bush, it means DA has treated us like animals. It means the ANC has treated us like animals. And we are going to stop that nonsense on the 29th of May. We are going to reclaim our humanity and our dignity on the 29th of May. Fighters, everyone must get a job, and not just a temporary job of EPWP. That is a bribe, it's not a job. A job must have a pension fund. A job must be permanent. And these ones of the ANC and the DA, that's where they bribe people after elections. Those people are not going to be called to come and work anymore because they don't have permanent appointment letters. And those who work in a municipality must not belong to the DA or belong to the ANC. There must be members of Stellenbosch. There must be citizens of South Africa with a South African ID, and they must have the qualification for the job. Not because they've got connection with some DA person, not because they are sleeping with some DA person or ANC councillor. We want you to get jobs. We cannot get jobs if we don't own the land. The land comes with factories. Textile industry in the Western Cape used to be one of the biggest industries. Today, the textile industry has collapsed. We need to revive the textile industry if we want to create jobs. We need to open factories and industrialize South Africa. Because without industrializing South Africa, there will never be jobs. We need to take the farms into the hands of our people, and the farm workers must have rights and they must be paid properly. And no farm worker must be paid with alcohol. All of them must have a permanent job in the farms, and those jobs must be guaranteed, and those jobs must have pension funds. Comrades, South Africa is not creating jobs because the economy is not growing. So anyone who says to you, you are not working because Zimbabweans are taking your jobs, that's a pure lie. They are taking our jobs where? Show us those factories which were opened and hired Zimbabweans only, so that we can go and remove them and get those jobs ourselves. There is no single factory that Ramaphosa opened since he was a president. And how do you say you are creating jobs when there is no single factory that we have opened? KHAYAMNANDI, you look at the roads, there are no proper routes. How do you create jobs if the country has not been converted into a construction site? Because jobs come with construction. There is no water. There is no sewer systems that were built under Ramaphosa, that were built under the DA. So when you say there are jobs, where have you created those jobs? Because there is no new job in electricity, no new jobs in water, no new jobs on the road. The whole construction industry is not producing jobs. Today, Ramaphosa said in Parliament, it's not my job to create jobs. It's not a job of government to create jobs. All of a sudden, he comes back and say, I'm going to give you 4 million jobs because he can see the elections are coming. When he was nicely answering questions in Parliament, he forgot that this day was going to come. Today he says he can create 4 million jobs. What happened to the narrative that government does not create jobs? Government will create jobs. Government can create jobs, and the EFF government is going to create jobs for the youth of South Africa, because you deserve better. Comrades, we must build the unity of our people in the Western Cape. We must not allow the DA to divide African communities with colored communities, because they thrive on the division. We are all survivors of the oppression of apartheid, and therefore there is no need for us to see each other as enemies. We've got one common enemy, and that enemy is Rupert, who owns the whole of South Africa. That is the man we must have a problem with, because this Rupert and his family owns everything in South Africa. And when we say they own everything, we mean everything. The toothpaste that you used this morning comes from the Rupert. There is no single one of us who arrived here today without using something that belongs to the Rupert. How can one family own everything? How can one family control the lives of everyone? Together with the Oppenheimers, I was in KZN yesterday, and I told them that IFP belongs to the Oppenheimer family. When I finished speaking as usual, they insulted me, said I'm speaking nonsense. Just yesterday, the IEC revealed that the Oppenheimers have given the IFP 20 million. The Oppenheimers gave DA millions of rands because DA and IFP are the same thing. They are owned by the Rupert and the Oppenheimers. They don't represent any of our people except the interest of the establishment. So the EFF is the enemy because it doesn't belong to any of them. There is a party that was formed called Change Now. Change Now was given 33 million, if not 35 million. After receiving 35 million, they closed that party. It is not even on the ballot paper, but they pocketed 35 million. You can see very clear that this is money laundering. They knew that they were not going to contest elections. They robbed people of money, and that must be a punishable offense, where you take money and say you are going to stand for elections, but all of a sudden you are not on the ballot paper. So fighters, the EFF is the one that is going to restore the dignity of our people. These people of Azania, when they stay there, they might stay in the shacks now, but the future is not the shacks. The future is better houses. The future is to ensure that their dignity is restored, and only the EFF can do that, because the EFF goes with you everywhere you go to occupy land. There is no way the EFF will turn against you. Even when you get arrested by the police, the EFF is there to supply the lawyers to release you from prison and continue the struggle for the land. Fighters, we want education to be free of charge. And education must be free from early childhood development. There must be crèche in every ward where children will go when they turn 3 years. Our children go to school very late. The white people's children go to school at 3 years. They know how to count 1 + 1 at 3 years. Ours, we left them with Avugogo. Avugogo are not trained to teach children. That's why even when they teach them how to speak, they speak to them in foreign language. Tate, ta, ta, ta. The white person's child is learning 1 + 1. Yours is still saying tate, tate. They are going to see 1 + 1 when they go to grade 1 at 7 years for the first time. When they don't pass, they say these children are not developing at the same pace as other children. It's not true. Our children were exposed to education very late. Fighters, we want these children to get free school shoes and uniform when they go to primary and secondary. And these people say it's not possible to give children free uniform and shoes. But I tell them it is possible, because you are already doing it, but you are doing it at the wrong place. You are buying prisoners free uniform. You are buying prisoners free shoes every 6 months. Why should our children wait to go to prison before they see a free uniform? We don't want our children to see free uniform for the first time in prison. In prison, there is breakfast, there is lunch, there is supper. So we want our children to eat breakfast at school, to eat lunch at home, because I'm at school, because these people are giving children the meal once per day. And I ask them, why are you doing that? They say children can't learn with an empty stomach. And I agree with them. But what happens between the first period and the break? Because that child might not have eaten in the morning. So we must give them food from the money so that we make sure they don't learn with an empty stomach, including those at early childhood development. We must make sure that those who go to tertiary education is free. They don't pay anything, including in Stellenbosch University, because that university belongs to us. It doesn't belong to the Rupert, the way they are controlling it as if it's their own kitchen. That is our university. The children must go there free of charge. The children of KHAYAMNANDI, when they pass matric, they must go to Stellenbosch University. They must go to UCT free of charge. They must not pay a cent. Why must they pay for registration fee? Why do you ask them if their mother is working? Do you want your mother or do you want my brains? If you want my brains, here's the report. Look at my report and check if I qualify to enter the university. Whether I'm poor or rich, it doesn't matter, as long as my brains qualify me to get a seat. I must be admitted at the university free of charge. Comrades, there must be free Wi-Fi at the university, at the TVET colleges, Wi-Fi in a lecture room, Wi-Fi in the residences, Wi-Fi everywhere where the children are found. Why free Wi-Fi? Free Wi-Fi, it means access to information. Today we live in the era of information technology. If you don't have access to information, you become ignorant. That's why the ANC can't give KHAYAMNANDI free Wi-Fi, because the more you get information, the more you are going to realize that DA is racist, ANC is corrupt. So they don't want you to learn about those things. When they say Zile Sima must come and encourage the youth to go and vote, you ask yourself, who are these ones now? But these are the kids who are on YouTube every day. You can't see them because you don't have access to free Wi-Fi. They say to you, your phones can use data. Then they go and make data expensive so that you don't have access to information. Through free Wi-Fi, you can search for a job online without going to town. Free Wi-Fi allows you to open business online and trade with other people without having a physical structure. That's what free Wi-Fi will do amongst young people. Fighters, we need to fight drugs. There are drugs on the streets everywhere. In KHAYAMNANDI, there is nyaupe, and even the people who sell nyaupe are known, but police are not doing anything, because police are working with these criminals who are selling drugs, who are selling nyaupe. Sometimes police even transport nyaupe and drugs in police vans because police vans don't get searched. We want a strong police. We don't want cowards. We want to fight gangsterism 2 for 2. We want a police commissioner like Mkwanazi of KZN. That one doesn't play. Every time some chancers raise their ugly head, he drops them. When I was in KwaZulu-Natal, he killed 4 of criminals who were committing cash in transit haste. So we need a strong commissioner here in Western Cape, where gangsterism is the order of the day, where extortion is the order of the day, where criminals go to businessmen and say, give me protection fee. Under the EFF government, there will not be a protection fee. There will be free protection for all the citizens of KHAYAMNANDI, for all the citizens of the Western Cape, in particular the women and children. Gangsters are known. People know who are these gangsters. They are scared of them. That's why we are going to build a strong police intelligence so that we can get information about these gangsters. And those who give us information about these gangsters in the EFF, we are going to pay them for the information so that we can target these gangsters and drop them one by one. When you leave your house carrying a gun, you point a gun at a policeman, you point a gun at our people, you should have said goodbye when you left home, because you are not going back home. You are going to meet your maker that day, because criminals don't deserve to live amongst us. Rapists don't deserve to live amongst us. So we need to punish them under the EFF government. Fighters, we must make sure that we increase its social grant yabogogo to 4,000 rand upwards. And abogogo, they must not pay for water and electricity because they are poor already. So we are going to put water in each and every house, electricity in each and every house, and abogogo will not pay for water and electricity. Why? Because you are already giving them money and you say they are poor. You come through a back door called water and electricity to take the same money. This is the same government. There is no government of Stellenbosch. There is a government of South Africa. So they must give abogogo isasa. From there, go to municipality and subsidize the water and the electricity of abogogo so that that money can be used to feed the children of KHAYAMNANDI, including the child grant. It must increase to 1,000 rand upwards, because I said to you that the criminals, the prisoners are eating breakfast, lunch, supper. Our children are going to eat breakfast, lunch at school. Where are they going to get supper if we don't increase the social grant? They must find food at home through increasing the social grant. And when I say we are going to give children 1,000 upward, I don't mean children must make children. Children must go to school, because education is going to be free. We don't want teenage pregnancy. When you do teenage pregnancy, you are not only embarrassing your family, you are embarrassing the whole KHAYAMNANDI. So they don't say it I mean teenage pregnancy. They say KHAYAMNANDI teenage pregnancy. So you are including us in your mess. Go to school, learn free of charge. Those who are old enough to make children, those children must be supported by government. I'm not fighting with the prisoners. I'm just saying our people who are not in prison, they must live better than the prisoners. They can't live worse than the prisoners. Some even wish to go to prison so that they can have a guaranteed meal. You don't have water. Prisoners got water 24/7. You don't have electricity. They have electricity 24/7. You don't have a flushing toilet. In prison is flushing toilet. So how can prisoners who did wrong to us live better than us who did not do anything wrong to anyone? So we have to make sure that we restore the dignity of our people. Fighters, we need clinics in each and every ward, and those clinics must open 24/7. A clinic must never close, because the day you are going to become sick, is not known. So we can't say Sunday there's no clinic. Who said on Sunday we're not going to get sick? Who said on Sunday pregnant mothers are not going to give birth? Why do you close clinic at 4 o'clock as if we are only sick during the day and at night we are not sick? That is madness of non-thinkers. We want thinkers into government. A clinic must have an ambulance because critical patients must be fetched from home. If you don't fetch them, they are going to bring them through the wheelbarrow. And once they do that, you have taken away the dignity of that patient. Fighters in Sekhukhune in Limpopo, a pregnant woman was walking towards the clinic 10 steps away. 4 o'clock hit, they closed the gate in front of her. That woman gave birth at the gate of the clinic and the child died. I'm giving you this example for you to see how important it is to have the clinics operating 24/7. We cannot have a clinic without medication. We can't have a hospital without medication. Unlike this DAANC hospitals, when you go there, you say you've got an eye problem, they give you Panado. You say my knee is painful, they give you Panado. You say I've got a running stomach, they give you Panado. They give you Panado everything because there is no medicine in our hospitals. Why is it called a hospital if it doesn't have medicine? Why is it called a hospital if it doesn't have the latest medical equipment? It is just another building if it doesn't have those facilities. We are told today that doctors are unemployed. I ask myself, how can doctors be unemployed when we don't have doctors? Employ those doctors and send them to us to come and look after us. We cannot close nursing colleges. We need nurses in our own wards, in our own clinics. Comrades, when I say we must have ambulance in each clinic, you must never think that is impossible. How are we going to do that? There's nothing sophisticated about ambulance. Ambulance is like quantum. It's like Siaya. They just take out the seats and put in the medical equipment inside that thing and put the red light on top and paint it to look like an ambulance. So if we can have so many CIAs on the road and so many quantums, it means it's possible to have ambulances in each and every ward looking after the health of our people. So fighters, let's go and mobilize all our people and say to them they must go in their numbers to go and vote on the 29th of May. Siyacela abugogo, siyacela ukuthi liyeke lento yokuthi livote lo Mandela, sivote lo Madiba. Akekho Madiba ulele, usebenzile uMadiba, siyacela. Let Mandela rest in peace. There is no Mandela today. If you doubt, if you think Ramaphosa looks like Mandela, just go close to him and look at the nose. You'll see this one doesn't look like Mandela. So don't make a mistake and say you are voting for Mandela on the 29th of May. Abu Gogo, during COVID, they said they are going to give you food parcels. Those food parcels came, but they never reached you. They gave to ANC members and DA members. Mandela never stole the food parcels. You must tell them there is no Mandela who steals food parcels. They digged 1 million graves for us during COVID, and they said they are going to bury all of us. Standing here are the survivors of the attempted murder of the ANC. The ANC wanted to kill all of us by digging graves for people who are still alive. So on the 29th of May, when they come, you must remind them that you digged graves for us. So we are happy because those graves, they are the ones who are going to use on the 29th of May to bury the ANC in the same graves. So fighters, 29th of May, please, we can drink today, do whatever, not on 29th of May. 29th of May was sober. We want a sober decision on the 29th of May. 29th of May, you are going to a voting station in the morning, because that voting station is an interview. That's where you are going to interview yourself. What do I want? You need to answer if you want to stay landless. You need to answer if you want to stay unemployed. They say today we're 50 days without load shedding. It's a lie. They are giving us electricity for now because they know the elections are coming. After the elections, we are going to stage 8. They are going to take us to stage 8, and unless we stop them on the 29th of May. They are not starting to do this thing, by the way. During the Rugby World Cup, when that team of Rupert won, they stopped load shedding because Rupert wanted to see the rugby. Immediately when they raised the cup, we were hit with stage 6 immediately. They are doing the same thing now with the elections. After the elections, they are going to close us out. Comrades, wake up in the morning, go to an interview. When you enter there, they are going to give you 3 ballot papers. Go into a voting booth and then start interviewing yourself. What do I want? What do I want for my children? Is really this the kind of life I want? And after interviewing yourself, you must still answer yourself. They think you don't know English. They must just hear a voice coming from that box. Enough is enough. You take the first ballot paper, vote EFF. The second ballot paper, vote EFF. The third ballot paper, vote EFF. We are voting EFF on the 29 May 2024 because 29 May 2024 is our 27 April 1994. So on the 29th of May is Freedom Day. The real freedom for people of KHAYAMNANDI is coming on the 29th of May. We must all stand up and say this is a day for economic freedom in our lifetime. We are here to reclaim our land, and we don't make an apology when we reclaim our land. We must say to the enemy through our cross that enough is enough. When we wake up on the 30th of May, when we look at Pretoria, when we look at Union Building, we must see the flag of the EFF flying on top of the Union Building, because it will be a liberated zone. Amandla! Amandla! Viva EFF! Viva! Niyabasabana! Niyabasabana! Forward to victory, forward! Forward to victory, forward! Thank you very much. Thank you.